Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening to my podcast, watching my videos. And again, I have an amazing entrepreneur with us, or a businessman, and he is from my own originality, Indian. And it's amazing to see people like him growing so well. And he is a biggest, I would say, motivation for anybody who comes with the migrant with a dream. So, hi, Sameer Handa, an entrepreneur. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Harshmeen, thanks for having me on this platform. But yeah, now it's a beautiful day here in Auckland and just having celebrated Diwali yesterday, I'm feeling really good.
Oh, same here. I did celebrated the lockdown Diwali.
Exactly. Yeah. Different
Yes.
Diwali from the previous years.
Yeah, we couldn't have families around though, just
Yeah,
few people around.
yeah, it was very different not having to meet friends and have party with them and all those sort of things. But I guess, yeah, we are getting used to the new world now. So yeah, here you go.
That's the thing. So, Sameer, how's everything else going? Before we start on those things, I would love to ask, who is Sameer Handa? When did you arrive to New Zealand, and what was your background with studies and everything, and how did you end up being into business?
To give you a bit of a background, I am from Delhi in India. I was born, brought up in New Delhi,
Mm-hmm,
and I did all my schooling and my university bachelor degree. I studied my mechanical engineering from Delhi College of Engineering. And after my engineering, I worked in Delhi for 3 years in the air conditioning industry. And then at the age of 24, I left India and for the greener pastures, as they say, to explore the world, to see what is out there outside India. So my first stop was Middle East. I
mm-hmm,
had a job offer to go and work in Muscat in Oman.
mm-hmm,
Same again in the air conditioning field, which I had some experience of. And I stayed in Muscat for 2 years, really enjoyed making money and not having to pay any tax. But yeah, I was still single and realized Middle East is not the best place for single people. Yeah, then in fact, I was also looking at advancing my career as well. I didn't want to remain an engineer all my life.
mm-hmm.
So I decided to do MBA and yeah, I sat in GMAT exams and applied and got admission into University of Sydney. So I ended up in this part of the world in Australia to do my MBA. And while studying MBA, then I did all kind of odd jobs like we all students are used to what we do when we are studying in a new country,
Mm-hmm.
trying to support ourselves. So yeah, I did gardening, labor work, babysitting, kitchen hand, all kind of different things too, which was really good to get experience of how the life is in this part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, after finishing my MBA in Sydney, I had the opportunity to go and work in Fiji as an expat for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, which was not in air conditioning, that was in a different FMCG industry where I was looking after a lot of factories making edible oils, tea, soaps, detergents, spices, all kinds of different food items. And after 3 years in Fiji, then I thought I'm ready to move to Auckland. So it was 26 years ago I moved here with my wife. And yeah, last 26 years, Auckland has been home. Now I have two beautiful children, both born here, boy and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And after coming to New Zealand, I started with the refrigeration company as a sales marketing manager.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the first 4 years, I had four promotions in that company, and I became a CEO of the company within 4 years.
Wow.
And then another 20 years, I remained in the company as a CEO, where during that time I expanded the business into uh, multinational business. We opened up many offices in Australia. I opened a few joint ventures in Australia. Acquired a few businesses in Australia to expand and grow.
Mm-hmm.
Then we set up a factory in Thailand to look
Mm-hmm.
after the Asian market. Then set up some sales offices in India.
Mm-hmm.
Then also set up a distributor in Dubai to look after the Middle East and Africa market. So So by the time I finished with that company, we were running a little multinational company.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think we were having about 300 staff. So yeah, no, I finished that role in about 2017, 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Last 4 years, I have become more of a investor. I'm investing in many businesses, investing in quite a few startups, and
Mm-hmm.
also I'm on the board of a few companies as well. So yeah, all that keeps me busy now.
That's good. So, what kind of businesses are you investing at the moment?
I have three businesses which are actively operating. One of them is the importing wholesaling business where we import and sell lighting products,
Mm-hmm.
air conditioning products, some smart furniture products. So a lot of these items we import and sell them through the likes of Mitre 10s, electrical wholesalers, those sort of things. Plus we export these items to all the Pacific Island countries as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is almost a 20-year-old business, but I took over 100% of this business about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have another construction business with a partner where we build petrol pumps.
Mm-hmm.
We are building quite a few for Gull at the moment. Plus, we also build for some private investors, whether it's Mobil or Gull or whatever brand. That business has been going on for also about 3 years, doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
And third business I have invested in with a partner is the gym business. So we own a few outlets of Anytime Fitness.
Oh,
We're not in Hamilton yet, but we got three outlets in Auckland.
good to know.
And besides these operational businesses, I have invested in a few startups. One of them is called mynzuni.com, which is helping students to come to New Zealand to study from overseas.
Mm-hmm.
This provides them an independent platform where they can pick and choose the university, the course they want to do.
Yep.
And this startup is likely to go global very soon, where you will be, or other students from around the world will be pick and choose any university anywhere in the world. So yeah, things like that going on.
Wow. It's like you're covering everything.
Yeah, diversification is the name of the game. So
Yes, true. That's the thing. But when I know so many business owners. Some people just invest their money in one business. Why is it important for you to invest, in different businesses? Because I also emphasize to other people to don't put your peas in one pot. But what you have on those kind of business owners? What should they be doing?
I guess it comes down to your own individual comfort level and your knowledge and experience of various industries or where you feel comfortable. But for me, being in one industry for a long time, like refrigeration, air conditioning, I spent almost 25 years in that industry. But I'm quite enjoying the variety of having to learn different industries. So that's why I'm sort of working with the partners, having some other partner to take the lead, and I'm sort of more on the background, more on the strategy of the business and the governance of the business rather than hands-on running the business myself.
Mm-hmm.
But diversification really, I enjoy that, which gives me opportunity to learn new things, meet new people. Like some of the charity boards I am on, one of them is Auckland Health Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
where we raise money for the Auckland Hospital to do research and training and other areas where we don't get funding from the government.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with the involvement there, I'm learning a lot more about health industry, which I didn't know earlier. So yeah, just I think up to people, but the really key thing is to be out there, see what else is out there in the world besides your own industry. And yeah, I've got a very curious mind, so I'm always keen to learn new things. So I keep looking at different areas to invest and different areas to work in.
Yeah, I'm also of the same I think mindset. Uh, so when you started the journey of being into business, what was the struggles and rejections, and what was in your mind going on when you were thinking, oh, let me start become a business owner now? What was all things you've been through?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I don't think there's been too many difficulties,
Mm-hmm.
especially doing business in New Zealand. As everybody knows, it's the easiest place on planet Earth to do business. We are number one in ease of doing business. So, and having worked here for a number of years, I sort of knew how the things work. Yeah, what works and what doesn't work. So when I started my own, it wasn't all that difficult. But one thing I do realize, and I have noticed over the years, even when I was buying other businesses and opening new businesses for my previous work, the people whom you rely on and think are going to help and support you in a new business usually don't. And the ones who you never thought are going to help, they end up helping you a lot. So this I have heard from others a lot of times, but I have experienced it myself also several times. That is really amazing that people out of nowhere come and help and support you, and the ones you thought are gonna, they just disappear slowly. So yeah, that's a very interesting part of doing a new business.
That's true. And I also see you are also part of Indian Council.
Yes, I've been on the board of India New Zealand Business Council for a number of years. In fact, I've been the chairman for last 2.5, 3 years. I just stepped down from that role because, as per the constitution, we keep rotating our chair position every 2, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now that's been very good in trying to promote the trade relations between India and New Zealand.
Yes.
As a part of that, I had the privilege of traveling to India a couple of times with the previous prime minister on business delegations. Been involved with the trade negotiations whenever we had a trade negotiation team go to India or the Indian team comes over here. So we've been hosting them at the council. Also, when we have business delegations go over to India or Indian delegations come over here, as part of the council, we host them and also give them opportunity to network with the local businesses. So yeah, that's been another good area because I did a lot of that work when I set up sales offices for my own business previously.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew all the steps I had to take and all the struggles I had to go through to do business in India or with India. Although
Yes.
being an Indian was an advantage, but I tell you, it wasn't any easier because since I left India and going back 20 years later to do business, everything in India had changed. So,
Yes.
so having done that myself, I thought it's something I can share with other Kiwi businesses who are looking at India as a potential market for either selling goods or buying their goods from. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I've been doing. Yeah, working with a lot of Kiwi businesses and vice versa. Indian businesses trying to come into New Zealand as well.
Yes. And then there's this deal going, like negotiations are going on between India and uh, New Zealand for free trade, and it's been more than 10 years now. What do you think about that? Are they going to say yes someday, or do you think it's gonna go a long way now?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen. I think after 10 years of negotiations, that has all come to a halt, and that's been put on the hold. I think so. Now we are not looking at that anymore. Even India made it clear they are not doing one-on-one um, kind of these agreements anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I think we're looking at the collective ones where a bunch of countries are trying to do. Recently, we signed up for RCEP agreement where India was supposed to be part of that, but then they pulled out at the last moment. So that's something we're looking at where India may come back and join again. Let's see. But I think the message we give to all the businesses at the moment in New Zealand is don't wait for the free trade agreement. Just carry on doing your business in spite of high barriers or trade tariffs in India. You still can sell your product because our products sell at a premium price anywhere around the world. So we are not competing on the price, we're competing on quality. And so, yeah, we business people are still carrying on doing the business anyway.
Yes. And I have even read something recently was signed up. I don't remember, but Sandeep Sharma updated it on on his LinkedIn about this. Something related to Indian Council. and New Zealand?
I think there are many individual one-on-one agreements are going on. There was one recently done by IIT with some research institute, and yeah, there are several one-on-one between a body in India and body in New Zealand doing those kind of agreements, and that's what the message is for the business industry, not to wait for the governments to do a agreement for us. Let's get on and let's do our own um, agreements with our counterparties in India at a state level, rather than worrying about doing something at the national level. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do whatever we can, and yeah, keep the business going, and government will come and join when they're ready.
true. I totally agree. I don't wait for somebody to do it when I can do it myself.
Absolutely, and again, business people understand that. I mean, it would be good if the barriers were reduced in terms of tariffs, but at the same time, yeah, not a bad time to just get yourself established, because it takes a long time to get attraction in a big market like India. So yeah, sooner you start, and whenever governments come to an agreement on the free trade, it will be easier because you're already there, you already have a setup and all that. So yeah, and many businesses are doing quite well in India, Kiwi companies. So they taken a long-term view and long-term approach and set up their factories or offices and local representation there on the ground. So yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah, that's so true. I agree on that part. And when you were also telling me that while you were the CEO of that refrigeration company, you were actually setting up offices in different countries. So, what do you think is it easy to work in New Zealand, or is it easy to work in all of those countries? Which one is the best? And if we think about starting another business overseas, which country do you think would be amazing for any Kiwi to invest?
Oh, a lot of questions in there. So let me see if I can answer one by one. So for me, for me, after having traveled the number of countries I have traveled around the world, I personally found there's no better place than in New Zealand to live. So yeah, that was the given that I wasn't going to move anywhere else. So I had to stay here. So accordingly, I built up the infrastructure around me in that way. So even when we expanded and grew to many countries, we kept our main head office in Auckland. So
Hmm.
I could stay home because I was spending enough time in airlines and hotels traveling anyway. But yeah, I didn't want to move my place of residence. We did think about moving to Sydney many times because
Hmm.
the business I was looking after, we had a much bigger business in Australia than New Zealand.
Hmm.
So there was a thought which crossed my mind that maybe I should be based myself in Australia somewhere, and probably Sydney because I have lived in Sydney before and I knew my way around in Sydney. But always a thought of staying where I would love to stay in Sydney, which is on the East Coast. And my office was in Parramatta, which is about 1.5 hour drive. Rather than doing that 3 hour commute every day in Sydney, I thought I can fly to Sydney in that much time. So there it was an easy decision for me to stay in Auckland rather than go to Sydney. Uh, what else?
Which
You,
country is best to invest?
yeah, I think all depends on your personal ambition and goal, how big you want to grow, or yeah. So I guess a lot of typical Kiwi companies, again, it comes down to your comfort level as well. So I think a lot of Kiwi companies feel comfortable expanding to Australia and then maybe UK or US. I think advantage being English speaking countries or whatever. But lately we have seen a lot of Kiwi companies have gone to China,
Hmm.
and we're doing a lot of trade with China. So compared to that, India could be easier in terms of language and being Commonwealth and a lot more things common than China. But yeah, the people find it quite difficult in India to do business for some reason. Again, as I said, comes down to your comfort level. But the beauty is at the moment we got such a big Indian diaspora living here in New Zealand. So even if a Kiwi company wants to go to India, they can always take a help of some Indian person locally, either as employee or as advisor or consultant or whatever. But yeah, having and you will appreciate that knowing people in India or having connections in India certainly helps. and getting over the barriers to get the relationship established. So it is India is a very much relationship based business market, whereas many other markets are more like transactional business activity. So in
Yep.
India, to do business, you need to spend fair bit of time in making that relationship. But if you know some people who may already have those relationships, yeah, it can be fast tracked that way.
Yes, that's true. I totally agree with that. And does the council, Indian New Zealand Council, helps with that?
Yeah, we do. We provide definitely a platform for people to connect and meet each other from either side of the world. And as I said, through business delegations, a lot of companies travel here or Kiwi companies travel there. We help them in connecting with their counterparts on the other markets. At the same time, we also, from New Zealand perspective, we have our High Commission in Delhi and our trade office in Mumbai there.
Mm-hmm.
So we work closely with them as well. They are good point of contact and source for Kiwi companies going into India. And vice versa, we work very closely with Indian High Commission and Council, Honorary Council office here in Auckland as well, from Indian perspective. So yeah, when Indian companies are coming here, they get some help from these bodies over here as well. But yeah, now we are at the council, we are recognized by both the governments, so we play a crucial role in focusing, connecting businesses to businesses.
That's true. And was it ever hard for you to do business in New Zealand with other Kiwi people or any kind of other people? Like, we, as we live in a country, we do face racism. What do you think about that? Have you ever faced any kind of problems?
Maybe it's my good luck or good looks. I don't know. I I never really had that racism issue, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And also probably, yeah, no, I don't know. I can't pinpoint the reason why, but yeah, no. I think some of that also comes from what is in your own mind as well. I never felt I'm any different because, yeah, having traveled and lived in many countries before I came here. Also having spent a couple of years in Sydney, and I'm also not married to Indian. My wife is Mexican, so and both my kids born in New Zealand, so we are a multinational family anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah, from me, my thinking is I'm a global citizen. I never think about, who's Kiwi and who's Australian and who's what. I mean, everybody's a human being, and we are all same. We all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and yeah, you deal with people with respect and integrity. And yeah, I haven't found too many issues from that aspect.
And do you get overwhelmed because you have construction business? Then there are petrol stations that you're building. Then you have gyms, and then you have refrigeration company. You get overwhelmed with all of this work, or do you have good team management, or what it is which helps you keep going easily?
Yeah, I'm a very easygoing person. So yeah, I think even sometimes my wife reminds me after 28 years of marriage, she's never seen me stressed. So yeah,
Really?
yeah. No, I don't get angry very easily. I don't get overwhelmed. I think it's all again your state of mind, how you handle things. So even sometimes I laugh when people say they're getting stressed at small things. And yeah, coming from India, as you'll appreciate, I mean, our daily lives over there are full of stress.
Tell me about it.
The definition of stress here is very different. So now, from that perspective, I'm quite lucky, and the fact I'm also very good in delegating, which is an art which not a lot of people do successfully. So since I had to run a very big business, and yeah, I learned that art of delegating very quickly. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't do a hell of a lot myself. In fact, I still have a lot of spare time in a day, in spite of all what you see. But yeah, no, it's all, yeah, working closely with people, and then empowering them to do the work. You just guide them. I mean, especially at stage where I am, I'm good in guiding people rather than doing the stuff myself.
Yep. And do you travel a lot still because of work or no?
Yeah, I mean, leaving these 2 years aside of COVID until 2019, yeah, I was still traveling around 5 to 6 months of the year every year out of
Mm-hmm.
Auckland. Yeah. So in last 10, 12 years, I've done a hell of a lot of traveling. Yeah, all around the world, 5, 6 months of the year. So seen a lot of places, met a lot of interesting people during that time.
Yeah. And so during COVID, does your business get affected? Was it bad? And how did you dealt with those situations?
You asking in relation to not being able to travel, you mean?
Yeah, in terms of travel as well as COVID has actually slowed down a lot of businesses.
Yeah, yeah. COVID has caused its own issues in terms of delays in getting products. Supply chain has been disrupted. Yeah, a lot of markets have been closed at different times, so you can't sell much to them because they're closed. So all those issues have been there. But the traveling part, I am actually quite enjoying not having to travel. Yeah, I've done so much traveling. I'm really enjoying the break, and I think the good part of that is earlier, some of the times we had to travel because it was expected of us for
Mhm.
being in a role or in a position where you have to go and meet people or suppliers or go to trade exhibitions. But now, good thing is nobody is expecting that of you because they know you can't.
Yeah.
So when there's no expectation, then quite easily you can just not worry about going anywhere. So that part I'm really enjoying, just having to stay at home and spending a lot more time with the family and friends as and when we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're still having a lot of Zoom meetings and Zoom parties as well now during the lockdown?
Yeah, yeah, we're doing a lot of Zoom meetings, of course, but not so much parties. I don't enjoy Zoom parties. I like, yeah, socials face to face. There's no fun in having cheers on a screen. It's not the so yeah. Social life is the one which is affected the most.
Yep.
But business wise, yeah, no, I think we are doing the best we can, and yeah, there are some issues which are not only for us. They are pretty big issues, global issues. So which are for everybody. We can't do much about that.
And so there are so many people coming all over from the world to New Zealand, or as an Indian, what kind of advice would you give to any international students coming here with a dream? Or they think sometimes they show, oh, first day they enter, they're like buying a big car, investing into a new iPhone and stuff like that. What kind of advice would you give to those kind of international students?
Oh, okay.
Because you were an international student one time.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think definitely I would say New Zealand. I have found it very good and easy to be successful. And I think one thing I found it is very transparent society, and also what you put in, you can see the output in the same proportion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, harder you work, more effort you put in, you can get rewarded for it. So this is something different from, for example, India, where sometimes you're trying to do all the hard work and somebody else takes the benefit or advantage of your hard work, right?
Always.
So in that regard, I have found New Zealand to be very systematic here. Your reward is proportional to your own input. So that way, if you are sincere and hardworking and honest, and all do all the right things, and think long term that you want to be a citizen of this country, you want to contribute to the local economy, you want to be a part of the society, then I think you can achieve all those things here. But some people I notice they come with a short term view that taking all the shortcuts to make some quick money or then run away. That's a different approach. I don't uh, support that kind of approach. But if you have a
Mhm.
long term view of settling here and making a life here for you and your family, then do the right thing, and yeah, be honest about it. And yeah, I think you can be successful. This place is full of opportunities. Yeah, absolutely full of opportunities.
So agreeable, and I can say because I'm also in that kind of position where I know I have achieved a lot and I can achieve more with the time and effort that I'm putting at the moment. Last question.
Mhm.
So when you are running a business and you have some troubles and all of those things put aside, what is the thing that you do that keeps you going all the time? Maybe a self-care routine or something which keeps you away from work for a day or something.
I don't think I fully understood your question, but I would say one thing I have found in business or various businesses I've been involved with, surrounding yourself with a good bunch of people is the key. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely the key for having a successful business is you need to have a one team around you. So sometimes it's not easy, and sometimes it takes time to build up that team. But I think that's what you need to do is build up a good team of people around you with whom you can delegate them work, you can trust them, you can freely have a open conversation with them, and at the same time be open about sharing the rewards with them as well.
Yeah.
So if you have a good team around you, I think nothing is impossible.
So I just want to, the question I just wanted to say is, what do you do for your self-care? What do you do? Like, do you go, like for me, I do boxing to keep my mind go, like, away from stress. What is your stress buster?
Well, no, I like walking as well. So whenever I'm thinking about the younger days when I had exams and a lot of stressful times in India, when my mind is full of too many things, I normally go for a long walk, and I go for a walk by myself, not with anybody else.
Yes.
That is my way of clearing my mind when I can talk to myself and think about things and put them in a priority list and solve them in a simple way rather than having a big cloud of thousands of things flowing in your mind. No, that is the way. But otherwise, for relaxing and all that these days under COVID, all we can do is sit on a lazy boy and watch Netflix.
Yes, that's the thing. And lastly, what are the 5 takeaways I can take away from San, Sameer Handa? What kind of things you follow, which keeps you motivated, or I would say keeps you going all the time? Any kind of teachings?
I think I can just only talk from my own personal experience. The first thing I would say is stay curious, always
Mm-hmm.
open to learning new things. Secondly, I would say be people's person. I mean, end of the day, people are everything in life. I mean, it could be any business of any kind, but unless you know how to get along with people, you can't succeed. So working with people is the key. Thirdly, as I mentioned, just basic values in life, honesty, integrity, being transparent. I mean, that's why I never have any issue sleeping at night because I keep my conscience clear all the time. So don't do anything which may not let you sleep at night. Uh, but other than that, be ambitious and stay focused. And as I said, this place is a wonderful place. It's a heaven on earth. So you in New Zealand, you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. It land is full of opportunities.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sameer, today for your time and amazing. I would say you are amazing as a person and big inspiration, specifically to people like me. You inspired me a lot. First time I read your article in uh, Indian Weekender, and I was fan of you. And I looked for your number and everything to get in touch with you. And I got in touch with you on LinkedIn. And since then, I have been, following you. And it was a dream come true as well to interview you and talk about your business and talk about your journey so far. So thank you for your time again.
It's always a pleasure, Harshmin. Yeah, I remember when you chased me down and came from Hamilton to meet me in Auckland.
Yes.
So, but now it's really good to see that you are growing in your own way.
Yep.
And I always get a lot of pleasure when I see other migrants, especially from India, when they come and do well and make us all proud. That's what we like to see. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank you. And you have wonderful day for and thank you again for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.